Okay, Maria Espinoza is the National Director of the Remembrance Project, which is dedicated to remembering people who have been killed by illegal immigrants. She is herself the daughter of an immigrant. And Maria, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Drew. Thanks so much for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Remembrance Project is?
I would love to. My husband and I, Tim Link, started this project in 2009 to be a voice for the victims who no longer have a voice. And that started because of a news report one evening here in Houston, Texas, where they talked about two police officers who'd been killed by illegal aliens, separate incidents, separate years. And one of the widows had filed a lawsuit against the city. And after some research, we learned it was about the sanctuary city policies here in Houston, which we had never heard of before. And as you can see with the latest news with the vicious murder of Bambi Larson, illegal aliens are untouchable in the United States. At least that's what it seems like.
Is there some reason? I mean, you are the daughter of immigrants. Is that why this particular story touches you so much?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I don't think I've been asked that before. but you're right. I mean, that's it, because Dad was from Mexico. He was born in Mexico and came here the right way. And once we learned about these dangerous policies, I was shocked. And I really thought, Drew, that we would only work this for about 2 years because that's all it would take. Certainly the politicians did not hear about these sanctuary city policies. But look, here we are 10 years later. This is our 10th year anniversary. Sad to say that an organization like mine has to even be in business.
Do you agree that there's an emergency at the border when Donald Trump says this is an emergency, this is a crisis? Do you think that that's true?
Absolutely true. And if all your viewers out there spent a day in our shoes, you would see that this is a huge problem. Again, we've been doing this for 10 years. We created the Stolen Lives Quilt banners, which during the campaign, you saw the angel moms and dads and family members holding these memorial panels and banners of their deceased children. So we've done this again for years, attended murder trials and hearings and testified, doing everything that we could do to get the attention of our lawmakers. And, Drew, we're only asking for our borders to be secured, and they're not. We're asking for the enforcement of current laws. They're not being enforced. And I've been along the border. I've been on a night watch looking at illegal aliens that have crossed into our country with backpacks full of what was believed to be drugs. Looking at that take place through night vision. So absolutely, this is a national emergency.
So, whatever people think about Donald Trump, before Trump was president, this was still going on and people were making speeches about it on the left and the right, Democrats and Republicans both. Why do you think it is that they can't move? If both Democrats and Republicans ostensibly agree that there's a problem at the border, why have they not been able to do anything about it?
Because they don't want to. The Democrat, that's simple as that. They play these games. It is political theater. And they play these games and they send out their flowery newsletters of wonderful work that they've done while they're up in Washington, D.C., and they do nothing. We just returned to our home state of Texas after being in the swamp for 2 years, Drew. I'm so happy to be back. But unfortunately, being there for 2 years confirmed that, what we believed, which is they absolutely will do nothing. We have the Republicans. And both parties are guilty. The Republicans, they're taking that blood money that we call from special interest open borders groups. They fill their campaign coffers while our coffins are filled with American children and their lives. And the Democrats want the vote, of course. And you see that far left socialist agenda really pushing through in that party.
So you talk about being in the swamp, and you don't have to name names, although if you want to name names, feel free. You're walking around, you're going into these offices, you're talking to people, and you call it a swamp. Can you tell me what that experience is like? I mean, why are you so grateful to be back in Texas?
Well, we love Texas, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I was born in Texas, yes, and And well, I can tell you, I'll give you this example, and we do name names, Drew. So,
Okay.
we want the people to know the truth. We have to work around the fake news. And that's also why the Stolen Lives quilt is there, so that we can show what is taking place and where the media has failed. For example, the former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, in 2016, I took 4 angel mothers and a family member to his hometown of Janesville, Wisconsin, and asking for a few minutes with this man. Speaker of the House, Republican, supposed to be leader. He is responsible whether or not bills get to the floor. And he can whip up the people and his group and push through some good legislation to protect Americans. Well, he absolutely refused to meet with them. He wouldn't even step outside and give his condolences to these grieving mothers. It was probably 95 degrees. They were holding the banners of their murdered children, wearing their memorial shirts. And what did we get? As soon as we stepped on the grass on his side of his property, Capitol Police were there to tell us to step away. And his Secret Service or Capitol Police pulled up under his side door. He got in the vehicle and he was whisked away. That is what we have in leadership. And I think that's a perfect example of what you're talking about.
Wow. Well, we should build a wall, then you couldn't get in. You were
Well, he had a wall all around the back of his house.
Did he?
A nice fence and wall, and had Capitol Police not in uniform, and he had 2 vehicles that were patrolling around. So he's got plenty of security, nothing like we have, average Americans out here.
You were testifying before Congress just a couple of weeks ago, right?
Actually, it was in 2017 in Congress, yes. And on one side of me was an angel mother, and the other side was the president of the Border Patrol Union. And I'm just very frustrated. I think the message for everyone out there would be to recruit others in your area, be a part of a group, and identify those good candidates, America First candidates, and support them in every way to get them voted into office in every level of government, because that's what it's going to take. These guys up here are absolutely not going to do what's right.
Wow. So you actually are not hopeful that Trump is going to get his wall or anything like it?
President Trump is going to have to work on his own. He has a few allies and those who are on our side and believe in our U.S. Constitution and believe that we should respect our law, our borders. Otherwise, we don't have a country, Drew. If we have a wonderful U.S. Constitution, and if so many foreigners are, fighting tooth and nail to come here to our country, they should emulate the United States, not try and flood the United States and give us the middle finger, if I don't mind saying. They're out in the streets. They're not happy here. They're carrying their flags, and they don't like America, or they don't like Americans. I guess we're not doing enough for them.
Where can Maria Espinoza, the founder of the Remembrance Project, where can people find you and help you out?
Our website is theremembranceproject.org. On Twitter, we are at Stolen Lives QLT, which stands for Quilt. And Facebook is the same, Stolen Lives Quilt and the Remembrance Project. This is our 10th year again, so we're going to have a national conference in Houston in October, and we just invite all your listeners to go like our page and sign up for our emails.
Maria Espinoza, the Remembrance Project, thank you very much for coming on. We'll talk again.
God bless you, Drew. Thank you.